It's a slow time on the NBA calendar right now, so if you have any topics that you want to hear myself or Harrison talk about on the show in a future episode of Mavericks Today, go ahead and hit us in the comment section. It could be anything. It could be from players. It could be any rumors, trade targets, whatever you guys want to talk about. Let us know in the comment section and we'll talk about it. And let's get right into today's show. Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I am Jeffrey Cooperstein, and on today's show, we are going to be talking about the top free agent targets that are still available that the Mavericks could go out and sign. The Mavs still have the one open roster spot remaining. It seems like it's going to go to Markieff Morris, according to all reports. He was with the Mavs last week in LA when they were doing their organized team activities. He was on Klay Thompson's boat last week, but he still hasn't signed with the Mavs yet. So it keeps that roster spot open, and maybe Nico Harrison could be cooking something up. But before we get into the list, name a free agent that you want the Mavericks to sign. Is it Markieff Morris? Is there another name out there that you think would better suit the Mavs roster right now? Let me know down in the comment section. And while you're down there, please be sure to hit the thumbs up icon and the subscribe button as well if you haven't already. Starting out with number 10, we'll go with Robert Covington, who's a veteran that's been in the league for about 10 years now, spent some time with the Clippers and with Philadelphia last year. Roko's kind of cooked at this point. He can't really shoot anymore. He can still defend a little bit. All of these guys are really guys that are your 15th man on the roster, so to speak. Robert Covington, I like his tenacity. I like his toughness, but not sure that he provides anything that any of these other guys don't. Jae Crowder, the former Maverick, who of course was traded to the Boston Celtics in his rookie year for Rajon Rondo back in December of 2014. I think Crowder still has a little bit of juice, especially from the three-point line. Didn't play a whole lot last year, but Crowder is a guy that knows what the Mavericks culture is, and he knows how to win. He's been on a lot of teams who have made a lot of deep playoff runs. So if you're looking for a guy like that and you're not going to bring Markieff Morris back, Crowder is a guy I think I would turn to go sign there in NBA free agency. And by the way, all of these guys, including Reggie Bullock, would be for the veteran minimum. Bullock was a Mav a couple of years ago, spent 2 seasons here in Dallas. His first year was really good, and when the Mavs made the conference finals, he was one of the key pieces on that team. Played 35, 38 minutes a night during the postseason, guarded the opposing team's best player, shot the three at a pretty high level, and then the year after that, he was simply terrible, and he couldn't get out of his own way. Mavs ended up releasing him. He spent last season with the Houston Rockets, but Bullock is a guy that he's cooked as well. I mean, maybe the Mavs like him because he has familiarity with Jason Kidd and with Luka, and I know he knows Kyrie as well, and they're pretty friendly. So Bullock's a guy that I think the Mavs might look at, but I have no interest in him personally. Jordan Nwora, just another name out there. He's been a journeyman in the league, been around the league for a while. Kind of fits the mold of a Robert Covington and a Jae Crowder, where they're both forwards. They can give you a little bit on the offensive end, but it doesn't really excite me whatsoever. Nwora is someone that if you brought him in, you'd probably bring him in on a non-guaranteed contract, give him a little training camp tryout. And if he really impresses this Mavericks coaching staff, maybe he's someone that they try to bring in before the season begins with the final roster spot. OShea Brassette, the former Boston Celtic, one of Tyler Smitty's favorite players here on this list. Look, Brissett's not going to do much for you. I think he was on a two-way last year, right, Smitty? Or no? He was a full roster member for the Celtics last year, so the Mavs could do that as well. I think most of these guys would be non-guaranteed deals. The veterans maybe would push for a full vet min, but outside of the likes of Robert Covington and maybe Reggie Bullock, I probably wouldn't give out a guaranteed deal to any of those guys that we just listed. We have 5 more names to get to on today's show, but I wanted you guys to do this for me right now. Grade the Mavericks roster on a scale of 1 to 100. Is this the best roster in the NBA? Is it the worst roster in the NBA? I'm going to go ahead and give it like an 87. I think they're probably a top 5 roster in the league right now. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. And while you're doing that, I need to tell you about today's sponsor, which is Game Time. We absolutely love Game Time here at Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. And Game Time is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events in your area. We all know that experiencing a sporting event, especially a basketball game live, is unlike anything you can get from watching the game on your couch. And Game Time Picks filters out the fluff, so you only show incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. What I love about using the Game Time app is that you get the lowest price guarantee on any ticket to any event. All in pricing so you don't get slapped with crazy fees at checkout, and flash deals so you can get even cheaper tickets the closer you wait till the game. Sometimes you can get tickets the day of event, a matter of hours before the event. They have last minute tickets and flash deals. They show you the actual view from the seat as well, so you know exactly what you're purchasing. And they have the lowest price guaranteed. We absolutely love Game Time. It's the only ticketing app that we use here at Chat Sports. And what I love most about using the Game Time app is that you get the lowest price ticket guaranteed and all-in pricing. So make sure you take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply there. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, all caps, one word, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. At number 5, we have Cedi Osman coming in. Now, Cedi is a guy who has done some good things in the league, most notably with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Really good offensive player. He's probably looking, this might be his last shot in the NBA. If he doesn't make it this year, he might just end up going back over to Europe. But Osman's a guy who has shown something in the NBA before, so he's someone the Mavs could look at if it's not Markieff Morris. Another former Maverick on this list, Dougie McBuckets. He can still shoot it at a really high level. Played with the Spurs and the Indiana Pacers last year. If you needed a bucket in the last second of a quarter of a game, you could throw McDermott out there and he wouldn't look out of place because shooting doesn't really, you don't get washed from shooting, so to speak. Like, he could shoot to at least 45 and he could shoot at a high level, especially from the corners. McDermott would be someone that if he had to play in a pinch, I think could give you 10 to 15 minutes off the bench. But if he's playing, it's also probably not an ideal situation because that means the Mavs would be dealing with a lot of injuries at their wing spot. Number 3, why not Thanasis Antetokounmpo? If things continue to go south in Milwaukee and you have Thanasis on your roster, does Giannis look at the Mavs and be like, I could go play with my brother? Of course not. Thanasis would be just a one-year deal as well. The Mavs have already had Kostas, by the way. So they could complete the Giannis or the Antetokounmpo brother trio if they were to sign Thanasis. And then if they somehow, by the grace of God, were to get Giannis in a couple of years, that would be crazy. But Thanasis, not going to be a Maverick, just another name, a length guy on this list. Nothing to see here as well. But I need you guys to go down and hit that subscribe button right now if you want free Mavs coverage from real Mavs fans. Myself and Harrison Graham are longtime Mavericks fans. I watch every single Mavericks game, and we'll be doing watch parties throughout the season as well, where we are live reacting to the games, especially all the big ones. So please lock us in, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you know when we publish a video or when we go live, and you'll be the first in there to comment MFFL. Number 2, Danilo Gallinari. He only played in a handful of games last year. Before he got traded, though, he actually did put up decent numbers. Gallinari has the best resume of anybody on this list. Danilo is someone who's averaged almost 20 points a game in this league before. Did have the torn ACL a couple of years ago, so it's not like he's going to give you anything significant, especially on the offensive end anymore. He was never a great defender in this league either, but he does have a resume, and maybe that experience would intrigue the Mavericks in a scenario where they're looking to finalize that final roster spot. So Gallinari is someone to keep an eye on, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Number 1, of course, is Markieff Morris. All signs indicate that the Mavs are going to bring back Morris on a veteran minimum contract. He was here last year, and he was one of the vocal leaders on the Mavericks, where the season kind of looked like it was going down the shitter, so to speak. In March, it was Morris that stepped up in the locker room and made his voice heard and kind of turned this season around, so to speak, that resulted in an NBA Finals appearance for the Mavs. The Mavs really value his veteran leadership and experience. They value his off-the-court knowledge, and he gets along with all the teammates. He's seen as the OG on the team. He knows he's not going to play a whole lot, and the Mavs know that as well. And one thing about that role is you have to be happy with not playing a lot, and I do think Morris would be okay with that. I think they're going to bring back Markieff. Like I said, he was in Los Angeles last week with Klay Thompson, Jaden Hardy, Quentin Grimes, among others, just hanging out while they were working out and having fun, even though he's not even a part of the team. So I think Morris will be back here. If I had to choose right now who the Mavs were going to sign, I think it would be Morris. Let me know, though, if you want to bring back Markieff. Type Y for yes or type N for no. I'm going to type my Y for yes. I've come around on the Morris twins in recent years, culminating with the the incident between Luka and Marcus in the playoffs a few years ago. Wasn't really a big Morris twin fan. And then once they brought Keith in, I really learned to like Keith. So type Y for yes, type M for no if you want to bring back Markieff Morris to the Mavericks. And of course, again, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll be back soon with more news and rumors here on Mavericks Today.